Let's read. Choppy waters. The economy's post COVID recovery is far from complete. Spurring consumption is key. India's gross domestic product is reckoned to have grown 8.7%, while the gross value added rose 8.1% in 2021 to 22, as per national income estimates released on Tuesday. Coming on the back of the sharp decline in economic activity due to COVID 19 lockdowns in 2020 to 21, when GDP crashed 6.6% and GVA by 4.8%. The latest numbers show India is emerging out of the tunnel of pandemic induced woes. The overall GDP and GVA have indeed recovered from pre pandemic levels, but only just by 1.5% and 2.9% respectively. Remember that growth had already been on a steady decline through 2019 to 20, even before the lockdowns of 2020, with GDP growing just 3.7%. The government's assertion that the data establish a full economic recovery is not entirely true. For one, it is not a V shaped recovery, with GVA from job creating sectors, trade, and hotels still 11.3% below 2019 to 20's low levels. This has kept the services sector as a whole in line with pre COVID levels, not above. While GVA from industry is up 6.7% over 2019 to 20, another job creating sector, construction, is up only 3.4%, while mining has grown a meager 1.9% over the 2 year period. Manufacturing lifted the industry GVA, growing 9.3% from 2019 to 20 levels. But there are cracks on that front. The January to March 2022 quarter, Q4 of 2021 to 22, recorded a 0.2% contraction year on year. Overall GDP growth slipped to a 4 quarter low of 4.1% in Q4, down from 5.4% in Q3, evoking flashbacks of the 2019 to 20 slowdown and raising concerns about the trajectory going forward. With reluctant demand, supply chain and input cost woes hurting manufacturing, agriculture that grew at a 5 quarter high of 4.1%, and public administration services whose growth dipped to 7.7% from 16.7% in Q3, lifted the Q4 numbers amid slower growth in services and mining over Q3 and a mild 2% uptick in construction. A recovery in investment demand, helped by the government's capital spending, is a silver lining, but the lingering concern is that consumption remains troubled, and unless it recovers, private investments will remain aloof, as will sustainable high growth. Private final consumption expenditure grew 7.9% in 2021 to 22, but it was just 1.2 lakh crore or 1.4% over 2019 to 20. Worse, as inflation flared up, households' consumption growth has steadily dropped through 2021 to 22, growing a mere 1.8% in Q4. Price rise combined with higher interest rates could squeeze middle class disposable incomes and dampen consumption further. Yes, India is the fastest growing major economy and likely to remain so in 2022 to 23. But the rising tide in the past year has not been enough to lift all boats stranded in the dextr- detritus of the pandemic and the slowdown that preceded it. The waters are choppy with war and recession worries in the developed world.